What's up, guys? Today I'm covering my G36 KA4 that I ran at Shali Assault. Now, I already did a breakdown of this in my video last week covering kit. I'm going to put the link in the description, but I wanted to make a separate video. That way it's easier to find in case you guys had questions and stuff like that. Honestly, this is a pretty lazy upload, and I've honestly got better content coming next week, I promise. Now this is the G36 KA4. For the base rifle, I am using the Tokyo Marui NGRS G36. I absolutely love this thing. The electric blowback is sick on it. Now it does have a lower FPS, but I've noticed that it does send the BB soaring in a pretty straight line, so I cannot complain whatsoever about that. Now let's get into the actual rifle itself and what makes it a KA4. So first off, we have the IDZ stock. Now this is seen on every single KA4 build. And we've also got the rail on top, which is also made by IDZ. Now, most of the time on airsoft retail websites, you will see these combined together. Just depends on if they're in stock or not. So it's really not that hard to source those two things. Now, let's get into something that's a little bit harder to source, mostly because you have to 3D print it yourself. I know that they are making gas blowback rifles that do have the proper handguard, but they don't really fit on the AEG versions that well. So the handguard is called the H-key handguard. Now, you see this on every K4 build, once again. But the problem is that we have to 3D print them for our rifles. If you couldn't tell, mine is cracking a little bit towards the back. I do plan to get a new one printed soon. Just haven't gotten around to that yet. I've had this one for about a year and a half now, so it lasted me quite some time. Now, on top of the H-key handguard, I've got the LM01 laser and flashlight. Now, this is one of the worst flashlights I have ever used on an airsoft or even a Nerf gun at this point. Not a big fan of it. My bulb finally burnt out, and I do not plan to replace it. I just use a Surefire inside of it whenever I need to play at night or whatever reason. Now, underneath the H-key handguard, we have the Magpul grip. I do like this grip. It's nothing crazy. I'm not going to do anything special on it. You just see it on a lot of K4 builds, so that's why I've got mine right there. Now, on top of the IDZ rail, we've got the EOTech EXPS and the G33 magnifier. Now, the G33 magnifier isn't seen in every single photo, but it's seen in most. That's why I'm using it. It's also nice for PIDing targets from a farther distance to tell if they're on actually Rust 4 or NATO. That's what I find myself using it for mostly. I really don't use airsoft sights. Both of those are made by Evolution Gear, and they are very nice. I cannot complain whatsoever about them. Another kind of key defining part about this gun that I like that makes it very accurate is going to be the selector switch markings. Mine has the SE and the F. Now, you see this on the German Bund rifles, especially with their MP5s and stuff like that, and you see it on their G36s as well. It's just one of those niche little parts about the kit that most people aren't really even going to ever notice, besides me, and it makes me pretty happy, so that's why I like it. Now, for the most rare piece on this rifle is going to be the suppressor. That is the Rotex Gen 3 suppressor. Now, you might be wondering, why is this rare? Well, it's actually because the airsoft company that did make them discontinued them about 2 or 3 years ago, I believe. So you don't see them on the market anymore. Now, people use them for their 417s and everything like that. However, you do see it in quite a few G36 reference photos. Overall, I absolutely love this gun. It is one of my favorite airsoft guns I own. It's much more comfortable to use than the G36 KA2. The KA1 is pretty much the same exact thing, just a different handguard at the end of the day and different stock, but it feels the exact same. I do definitely plan to do a longer breakdown on this gun and what makes it kosher in the future. But today, this is just a simple what I ran on it at Shali at Milsim West.
Grazie.